Oh my god! Hello?
Hi, this is Carrie from scheduling.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to be a flight attendant? Like, the reality of being a flight attendant? Probably not, right? When you think of flight attendants, you sometimes think of servers in the sky who occasionally make jokes over the PA system.
And me being from Providence. If you want a drink, get it yourself.
But in reality, sometimes you have to get dressed in a rush because scheduling just called you for a flight to Paris that leaves in 2 hours. I am panicking! And sometimes you have to tell loved ones you can't be with them on special days. Hi Joanne, it's Nilly. Listen, I just wanted to let you know that I don't think I'm gonna be able to come to your wedding. Why? Well, it falls on Easter Sunday and flight attendants don't really get the holidays off. It's just the reality of the job. For those of you who are new here, hi, my name is Nilly and I'm a flight attendant. Cue the short intro with music.
Work it.
If you're into travel or want a glimpse into the aviation world, just hit that subscribe button below for weekly videos, or feel free to follow me on Instagram at Nilzy. Today I'm going to be talking about the top 10 things that you may not have known about the reality of being a flight attendant. Number 1, reroutes. This is something that most people are familiar with. Whether you're a flight attendant or not, you've probably heard of the term, or you've probably been in a reroute yourself. Whether you've been redirected to go on a different route to get to your final destination, or whether there was a weather delay, or something weather related that made you change your route. Well, this happens to us a lot as flight attendants, and it's not something we necessarily like. I mean, it depends. Sometimes you may be rerouted from Atlanta, Georgia to Cancun, Mexico, and that's a good one. But more often than not, I feel like I have to say that a reroute for a flight attendant would be bad. This one didn't happen to me, but last week I was on my way to Fargo, North Dakota, and there was a crew that was on our plane as passengers, and they were so upset, and I'm like, what's wrong, you guys? They said they were supposed to go to Palm Beach, Florida, to lay over there for like, they had 20 hours or something. And instead, they got rerouted to go to Fargo with us, and they had to stay there for a day, just like we did. They had no clothes for it. They were not prepared by any means. Like, could you imagine? You were told that you were gonna go to Palm Beach, sunny Florida, and then you end up in middle of nowhere, North Dakota. That's just like one of the things we have to deal with, and sometimes it sucks, like I said, and sometimes it's good and beneficial. It just depends. But just because we're assigned to go somewhere doesn't mean it's always gonna happen. You're always subject to a reroute, and that's what's so adventurous about our lifestyle. Number 2, boarding. Now, I know this is true for most carriers, and I don't know if it's true for all carriers, but most carriers do not pay us while we're boarding. You know, when we're hanging jackets and coats and giving first class their drinks and closing those bins and trying to make sure that the baby's seated next to their mother and we're preparing our galleys for service, all that time we're not getting paid. So be nice to us. Or don't, I mean, that's on you. But really, we're doing all these things. Boarding is one of the most hectic parts of the flying process as flight attendants, in my opinion. And yet, it kind of sucks that we don't get paid for it. That's just the way it works. I deal with it, we deal with it, it's okay. But in that moment, yes, it does suck because we're like, oh my god, we're trying to rush to get an on-time departure. We're trying to get all these hundreds of people on the plane. No one's cooperating, no one's doing what they're supposed to do. It can get stressful. And then the door closes and we get paid, and I'm like, okay, I'm happy now. We are the face of the company. What does that mean, right? Well, as far as the whole operation goes, when you go to the airport, the people that you interact with the most are what? The flight attendants. And still, that can be a little bit scary for us sometimes because you see all these videos on the news, on the media, online, of people getting in trouble and people doing crazy things on board. Like, anything that you think can happen. Right now, more than ever, we're at a point in time where we're a little bit scared to, act a certain way. Not because we wouldn't act professional, because I always act the most professional I always can. But there may come that moment where I'm caught off guard and something is taken out of context and it blows over proportion, and that's what's scary. But of course, there's great moments where you interact with kids and they're excited because it's their first time flying and they deal with you first and they look at you and they're like, oh my god, we're so excited. You get to see something like that and they get to see your reaction and it's all good and positive vibes. That's good. But going back on it, like I said, anything can happen. And that's where we worry. Welcome to modern day flying, I suppose. We have something called crew rest bunks. And I feel like at this point a lot of people know about these, but these are our secret bunks, so to speak, that are below the planes, usually only on international planes that we have. And I've seen a couple videos that certain other sites or on Facebook or on Instagram or whatever, and they kind of glorify them and they make them seem, oh, like lavish hotel rooms that are underneath the planes that normal passengers don't ever get to see. But the reality, at least in America and most other carriers, they're not that glamorous. I feel like they're coffins. I'll be sleeping or like laying down, attempting to sleep while I'm on my break, and you know, something wakes me up or like turbulence and boom, I hit my head at the top of the thing. And usually there's like this APU system where the air blows and all that good stuff is on there, the light, and you just smack your head on there. It's not pretty. It's just like these little tiny things that you have to kind of crawl your way into. I love how they've been made to seem like they're these glamorous things. Now, yeah, they are beds, so that's cool. You know, not everybody in the cabin gets to sleep on, you know, a full lie flat bed, but I'm just saying it's not as lavish as it's made out to be. So someone needs to stop spreading those rumors. This is like one of my favorite things ever. We call it jump seat therapy, and what that is basically what it sounds like. We sit on jump seats, we don't sit on passenger seats obviously, and half the time we don't know the people next to us and we just have these conversations about our lives, about our struggles, about anything and everything, and we kind of give each other small therapy sessions. I've had it where someone's complained about their significant other and I've offered my opinions, or where I've complained about what I'm currently struggling with or whatever's happening in my world. Honestly, it's such a good feeling to release this stress onto strangers. And nobody really thinks anything of it. It's not like a judgy moment. I mean, I guess sometimes we can judge. But like I said, it's more therapeutic than not. It's kind of like going into confessional and just saying all your sins, and at the end you just feel better about it because you've said everything you needed to say and now it's out of your system, you know? Number 6, this is big because not everybody knows this for some reason, but we like our space. I get it, everyone's cramped up in their, you know, seats, whether you're in a middle seat, aisle, or window, but we're working this whole time, we're sweating our butts off, serving drinks and walking around and doing emergency stuff or letting the pilots have their break. The last thing we want when we're in the middle of our break, you know, having our only snack or lunch or whatever we're gonna have that day, is to have somebody's butt in our face, just like right there. Or like somebody's face like, can I have a Coke? I get it, you're cramped up too, but this is our job, you know? Like, why do you have to get so close and personal with us? I feel like passengers just forget sometimes that we're human and have to just come up and say things to us like as close as possible. How are you today? You don't have to be this close to me to talk to me, you know? I can hear you just fine from here. And I guarantee you, every single flight, as flight attendants that we take, there's always somebody that invades your personal space. Always! You know, speaking of jump seat therapy on the first one, I feel like this is kind of like my jump seat therapy where I'm like ranting a little bit. But these are realities of being a flight attendant. Like honestly, it's half rant, half truth. It's not half truth, it's 100% truth. Number 7, the infamous safety demo. Some planes have TV monitors where they display the safety demo, and some of them don't. When we have to perform the safety demo because the TV monitors aren't working or because the plane doesn't have any TV monitors, I feel like 99% of the flight attendant population hates doing it. Hate when I have to do it. You know, I have to stand there in front of people, and I get it, that's our job. But it's like I'm doing things and it's all eyes on me, and I'm like, oh my god, I feel ugly today. I feel so discombobulated. Like I just don't want anybody staring at me today, and I feel like a lot of us do feel that way too. Passengers know about the safety demo. Like everyone knows how to, well, Let me take it back a little bit. I would say that everybody knows how to fasten a seatbelt, but then I feel like the safety demo is a reminder to do it because not everybody does. You would think they would, but then when I'm doing my safety checks, I'm walking through the cabin. You don't have your seatbelt on, you don't have a seatbelt on, you don't have a seatbelt on. Were you paying attention? If I could have it my way, I would just have the safety demo play over the TV monitors. I want TV monitors on every plane and I want them to work every time. I just hate standing there. Cue comment about how my face is on camera being watched by a lot of people right now. True, but this is different. How we get our crews assigned. I kind of already talked about this during jump seat therapy, but our crews are different every trip. You're never flying with the same people. I mean, occasionally you might fly with the same person here and there, but there's thousands and thousands and thousands of flight attendants in the system depending on your company. You might work with 4 people for a 3-day trip and then 4 other people the next 3-day trip. It's always changing. And that's the great thing about the job. If you don't like somebody you're working with, well, you may not have to see them ever again. On the other hand, if you do like somebody and you become friends with somebody that you worked with, you can bid certain trips together and hopefully get the trip or swap on. There's all these different little ways that you can get on certain trips with other people. I've always kind of wondered if people think that we all know each other, because we don't. Usually at the most we know each other for about 3 days. That's usually the point where you start to get to know that person because we've talked so much over the jump seat, aka jump seat therapy, where you've gotten to know somebody. The first day is always kind of queasy. Second day you kind of know the person. Third day and onwards, if you have longer trips, that's when you really know the person. It can be either good or it can be really bad. Or sometimes you really click with that person on the first day. It's rare, but it does happen, and you build friendships over that. That's a plus, right? Friendships? Plus? Yeah? I think so. Number 9. I feel like I can say this for most of the flight attendant population as well. When it comes to getting to the hotel and we're done with flying, the one thing flight attendants do like is happy hour. Who doesn't like a discounted drink? Whether it be beer, wine, spirits, whatever, shots. You're not a true flight attendant if you don't like happy hour. I can't tell you the amount of time I've gone down to the hotel bar with my crew and we've all just talked about our day and just reminisced over happy hour. It's always a good time. I want to say most layover cities that we go to, there's always somebody that knows a hot spot where there's a happy hour, whether it be a friend that you're texting or whether it be someone on the crew. They're like, oh yeah, I went across the street the last time I was here for happy hour and it was so amazing. That's where we usually bond too, when we're out having our happy hour. And number 10, cliche, whatever, we do have fun. Whether it's on the plane and we're on the car doing our service and talking to people, or we're at the layover taking pictures, enjoying the views, enjoying the scenery. We have fun, and it's a great job to have if you're looking to explore, if you're looking to travel, or if you're just looking for something new. I've been a flight attendant for 3 years now, and I've been so happy doing it because it's literally changed my entire world. It took a while to get into it, honestly, like into the groove of doing the whole lifestyle, because it is a lifestyle too. But at the end, when you get used to it, it's amazing. I hope you got a little bit of a glimpse into the reality of being a flight attendant. Sometimes it's glamorous, sometimes it's not so glamorous, but at the end of the day, it's a job, it's a career, it's fun. It's different. It's a lifestyle. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't already subscribed, just hit that subscribe button and follow me on Instagram. Tune in next week for another video. Thanks! Have you ever wondered what it's like to be a flight attendant? That was so bad!